everyone, welcome to Cricket Next. Well, IPL 2023 auction is just a few days away and we all are very excited for it. Well, there are quite a lot many reasons to be excited for the auction, but in this video today we will be talking about a team which is up with always excitement and a lot more fun in this team. But when we talk about this team, there's also enough talent to talk about. And all of that we'll be talking in detail here with Saikat Ghosh. Hello, Saikat.
Thanks, Ramya, for having me.
So, Saikat, I just mentioned, there's this team which is up with a lot of excitement. And always when we watch this team, we also feel that, there is young energy and it's none other than Delhi Capitals. When we talk about Delhi Capitals, they have got enough talent. They always showcase what kind of, power they have, skills they have. And in the last season as well, we saw some really good performances, but they eventually finished on number five. Now, if you have to sum up their performances in the IPL 2022, how will you do?
I think it was a roller coaster ride for Delhi Capitals. They finished in the mid-table position. Unlike 2020 and 2021, this season saw them, waiting till the last match against Mumbai before they really knew that, whether we are going to last four or not. Unlike this season in 2020, they were in the finals. In 2021, they were in the beaten by KKR in eliminator. So a complete difference, contrasting, not contrasting, but I think not that great performance if you compare them to 2020 or 2021. But they had a lot of things to do. I mean, as you can see here, 14 matches, 7 won, 7 lost. It was a roller coaster ride for them. They were in the hunt till the last match before Tim David played that blinder of a knock and helped Mumbai win. Not only play a party spoilers, it also actually completely the Delhi Capitals challenge completely fizzled out because of that win by Mumbai Indians.
Well, absolutely. On the retention day as well, we saw, that the team actually went with quite the similar team. They released only a very few players. So it says about the team. When we talk about days like retention day, it actually reflects what the team wants. And herein, it seems that, Delhi Capitals wanted precisely the same team, and then they released only a few players. And while I'm talking about the release players, so here's a list. So there was Shardul Thakur who got traded, then Shrikar Bharat, Mandeep Singh. So only five names out there, Saikat. What do you think is the approach of Delhi Capitals in this auction?
Uh, there are two players who are wicketkeeper batter here. First is Tim Seifert, and the second is KS Bharat, who is also known as Shrikar Bharat. So they need to have a wicketkeeper at any cost. They will have to take a wicketkeeper. Now, Mandeep Singh is a good middle order batter. He is also gone. So they also need a like for like replacement for Mandeep Singh. Has to be an Indian middle order batter. And Shardul Thakur is a new ball bowler. So they need a new ball bowler to replace Shardul Thakur. So three things they have to take care of is either a new ball bowler, either a wicketkeeper batter, and definitely they need a middle order batter there just to fill in for Mandeep Singh.
And all these three slots can be placed in with this purse. What do you think? They have 19.45 crore. So do you think they'll be able to buy some really good players of the three slots that you just mentioned?
I really don't think they will go for that much amount of buying, because if you see their retention list, you'll clearly know that they have retained the core of the side. They don't need that much money. I don't think they need that much amount of shopping. No shopping, so that's why they wouldn't need that much amount of money. They just need to slot in these three replacements, and I think for that the amount of money is just about enough. So I think, yeah, I think that should solve their problems.
So we have the list of players, and it's quite interesting. Again, as I just mentioned earlier, this is the team full of excitement, and there is this exciting list of the players who they have retained. So we have Rishabh Pant out there, David Warner, but I'll quickly come to the names, the youngsters, out there. So we have Rishabh Pant; he's leading the side, and that's what makes this team really very interesting as well. Then we have Prithvi Shaw out there. Then Yash Thul, he has done some really good work as well. And then Chetan Sakaria, because in previous seasons people have talked about him. So when you look at these names, obviously I've just taken two, three names out there. Who do you like to pick from this team as one of those players who can be really game changers in the coming IPL season?
Obviously, the name that you mentioned, Rishabh Pant, Prithvi Shaw, Rovman Powell, Sarfaraz Khan, these are the core of the side, and these are youngsters. So this is a long-term solution from Delhi that if you keep these guys in your side, they'll be with you, they'll stay loyal for you in the next couple of years. So no more buying, and that's a very good management tactic. Now,
Yeah.
I would mention here a guy called Aman Khan. As we can see right at the bottom of the graphics, Aman Khan is a great batter. He's a very explosive batter, comes at the middle order, and then can also bowl pace, medium pace. So I think
Mm.
look out for Aman Khan. I'm not sure whether he'll play because the team. If you see, there is everything out there. Rovman Powell, Sarfaraz Khan, Yash Dul, Mitchell Marsh is an all-rounder. So I don't see any reason why Aman Khan will come into play in the first place. But if you ask me, a wild card player, a kind of player not many people know about, I would say Aman Khan, because people must be watching out for this guy. He has been traded from KKR at a very low price.
So, is there any slot cycle over here? Do you think that there is any position where Delhi Capitals really need to look for a good player? Because as you mentioned, they have retained quite a lot of them. I mean, almost the similar team is there. So, is there any position do you think that will be troubling them in the coming season?
I think they need someone a good number four there because in
Okay.
2021 Shreyas Iyer left this side, and after that they have been really struggling to fill that gap in the middle order at four. So because of that, they need a good batter who could actually. And now this season, as we know, Mandeep Singh has left. So now you don't have a middle order batter who could actually fill that gap. Even in last season, a lot of people were baffled the way Rishabh Pant batted. The reason was Rishabh Pant had to fill in for Shreyas Iyer, and since there was no batter in the middle order, most of the cases Rishabh Pant promoted himself and failed. So I think if you ask me one position that they have to deal with, it has to be a middle order batter at four because Shreyas Iyer has left in 2021, and we are talking about 2023, and even in 2023 they don't have a solution for Shreyas Iyer.
Yeah. So in such a case, let's see who they'll be targeting in the IPL 2023 auction. Ben Stokes is a name, which every team would look for. But in all our discussions, and we have been discussing at length, behind the cameras as well, that where Ben Stokes can go, because Ben Stokes has the quality to be a captain as well. But here, Rishabh Pant is already there in that role. So, in such a scenario, will they be looking in for Ben Stokes or they won't be?
I really don't think they'll be looking for Ben Stokes. I mean, yes, Ben Stokes is a player whom every team will go. So we can say widely that, okay, Delhi Capitals is no exception. Their team management will also be looking for Ben Stokes. But since,
Mm.
as I said, their core is completely intact, even if they don't get Ben Stokes, it wouldn't matter much. So I think instead of looking for Ben Stokes, they'll be looking for a middle order batter, possibly an Indian. And as just a name here, his name is Rohan Kunnumal, who has been some
Okay.
great batting in the recent domestic season. If you can have Rohan Kunnumal at four, then you have a guy like Shreyas Iyer who could actually anchor the innings in the middle part of the play, and then you can have Rishabh Pant who will come, let's say by 15th or 16th over, and play the game he wants to play. So I think instead of Ben Stokes, they'll be looking for someone who could actually give them that cushion that Shreyas Iyer used to provide in the middle order.
And what about Cameron Green then? Will they be eyeing for Cameron Green? Because you mentioned we need a batter at number four or who can fix that position in the middle for this team. So Cameron Green has those abilities, isn't it?
Surely, Cameron Green has those abilities, but you cannot forget that Cameron Green, at the end of the day, is a lot like Ben Stokes. He's an all rounder. If you bring him on board, there is no problem in it because all rounders are in demand everywhere. But the
Yeah.
problem is the recent statement that Australian coach Andrew McDonald made about maintaining the workload. Now, this is something which is very dicey. When an owner listens to this sort of perspective, is always in doubt because I'm investing crores on rupees on you, and suddenly, if you have an Ashes and international matches, then Australia has all the right to pull him out. In that case, it's a very bad investment. So I'm not sure whether they'll be really going for Cameron Green.
Well, they also have this very odd 19 crore, purse, and it'll be very interesting to see how they use it, because usage is also very important. Saikat, in auctions, we have seen that teams do have a lot of money. Last time in mega auctions, everybody was looking at what Punjab Kings will do, and they ended up losing their money on certain set of players that didn't, help them in the main competition. So this time as well, it'll be very, very important to see how they capitalize it. And well, as you said, that they will be eyeing for a person who can fill in that fourth place, and especially a person from India. So let's see how it goes on. Thank you so much, Saikat, for being with me and discussing everything about Delhi Capitals.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, Saramya.
Thank you so much. So we were talking about Delhi Capitals. Well, as I just began this video with that, this team is really very exciting because there is a lot of talent in this team. There are a lot of youngsters in this team. So whenever we look at Delhi Capitals, it becomes really important and interesting to know how this team would work in such kind of competitions, especially now they have a couple of slots there. So in the auction, everybody will get to see whether they look for Cameron Green or they look for an Indian batter who can fill in that fourth position. But everything will be there on December 23. Till then, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel, that's Cricket Next, or also stay associated with our various social media handles, that's Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.